Before we start today's video, check out our merch shop, linked in the description down below. Use code Ahsoka in all caps to get $7 off your order. May the Force be with you, and enjoy the vid.
You know who I am? I am Boba Fett.
Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and I have to be that annoying Star Wars fan and throw out some of those theories, but essentially also from some recent reveals from Star Wars themselves, we think that CAD BANE will be back, and here's more solidifying evidence and answers that we're going to be discussing, breaking down in today's video with everything that we know and everything that we're anticipating right now. Before we do though, however, grab that subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing and covering all types of Star Wars related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab that subscribe button today. Okay, so in this video we are going to be taking a quick read from screenrant.com. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well as an overall garnering source. So it seems that Star Wars is setting up a major way that one bounty hunter will return within a galaxy far, far away. For one, CAD BANE may have survived his duel with Boba Fett at the end of the book of Boba Fett, as I had mentioned, and according to Hondo as well in a recent comic line there as well. We'll dive a little bit more into that in just a moment. Along with that Hondo's suspicion, there's also some evidence that CAD BANE has survived. His death has never been explicitly confirmed, and it's something that's kind of left for that open interpretation, and there's been a lot of theories that have surrounded this idea. Everything from that blinking chest rig that might be a sign that he had made it off of Tatooine as well, that like little red beeping kind of thing that was on his chest after he quote-unquote died at the end of the show. CAD BANE could also reappear in a wide variety of other Star Wars stories, most likely in an upcoming spin-off of The Mandalorian, and that's kind of where we see Lucasfilm and Disney kind of headed here, especially based off of this recent comic line. So let's discuss a little bit more about that. Bounty hunters have always played quite a large role within a galaxy far, far away and within the Star Wars franchise, and it seems that the franchise is now set to bring one notorious gun for hire back from the dead. Once again, they're notorious for it. There are dozens of bounty hunters in the Star Wars universe, and they've been incredibly important throughout the Star Wars timeline and within those specific stories. Many of the best bounty hunters in a galaxy far, far away have earned that title because of how long they were and have been around. Bounty hunting is an extremely dangerous profession, as we've learned, and only the most fearsome warriors could survive for, well, really very that long. Even the best eventually meet their end, though they usually meet it in quite a violently way to really solidify and confirm that they are indeed dead. Though most bounty hunters eventually find themselves at the wrong end of the blaster, that isn't always the case or end for them. Star Wars is no stranger, especially in the recent, to resurrecting characters, and it now seems that the franchise is set to add another entry to the list of Star Wars characters who have been resurrected. The character could very well be the one of the most notorious and ruthlessly effective bounty hunters in the entirety of the galaxy, and his return very well could be on just the horizon, as I had mentioned, CAD BANE. So where's this whole idea of, Hondo Okanaka coming in here and thinking that he thinks that CAD BANE may have survived after all? This comes from a recent comic line strip. Hondo, the morally ambitious Weequay pirate in both the animated Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels animated shows, seems to think that CAD BANE is very well and alive. BANE supposedly died in the finale of the book of Boba Fett after his duel with the bounty hunter Boba Fett had turned daimyo of Mos Espa. Though Boba had stabbed BANE through the chest with his gaffe stick, Hondo had his reservations on declaring the Doris bounty hunter dead. In Mark Summer's Star Wars The Secrets of the Bounty Hunters comic issue, Hondo believes that Bane's death very well could have been grossly exaggerated. I think the most solidifying and just exciting aspect of this overall, though, however, is the fact that this is in-universe. Like, Hondo, of course, is a character within the Star Wars franchise, if you hadn't caught on to that. So he reads that in, like, the comic line saying, if reports are to be believed, this job may have been CAD BANE's last. Then again, perhaps his rumored demise was simply an elaborate ruse to give me a false sense of security. After all, CAD BANE has been known to hide in the shadows as he seeks out the galaxy's greatest targets. Ending it right there. And so, though Hondo isn't exactly, well, the most reliable source of information, he definitely is better than, maybe an industry insider or, a rumor that is circulating around. He's like an actual in-universe kind of thing coming from a comic line, I think is all the more exciting, as I had mentioned. It really just solidifies that Lucasfilm may very well indeed have plans to bring back Cad Bane's character. He was a prolific liar and swindler though Hondo is, and there's been some evidence to support the idea that Bane has survived after all though. However, after he was stabbed by Boba, Bane's chest rig, as I had mentioned, began to blink with a red light. Many fans have theorized the idea of that may have been an indication that some sort of life support system had switched on, or it's a tracker that could be a distress signal to call that he has sent out to his droid sidekick Todo 360 or one of his other allies to come and rescue him. CAD BANE also rarely walked into any situation without a plan to get out, and he almost surely thought about the possibility of Boba actually beating him. CAD BANE's quote-unquote resurrection also wouldn't be unprecedented all at the same time. I don't necessarily want to call it a resurrection if he isn't technically dead, then it wouldn't be a resurrection, but anyway, there are several unaired story arcs for the Clone Wars animated show that were scrapped after the show was first cancelled back in the day, including one about CAD BANE's mentorship with Boba Fett. That arc would have revealed that Boba and Bane had a shootout, with both bounty hunters shooting the other in the head. That quote-unquote delete story arc wasn't completely canon, but we know that a part of it is, since it was the only explanation for Bane's fate. At the same time, he was presumed dead technically by the end of that arc, and that's where they would have been done with his character. But as we have also learned from the Bad Batch's animated show, he actually has a metal plate in his head that he knocks on or something weird like that. So he was shot in the head, probably by Boba Fett, from that quote-unquote uncanon arc. I think that arc is technically canon, is kind of what I'm saying here. So there is that as well. Star Wars The Bad Batch, however, resurrected Bane and proved he survived long after his first duel with Boba for another, and it could conceivably have been done again after his duel with Boba in the Book of Boba Fett. One other big kind of key thing that and I haven't really mentioned quite yet in the video, is the idea of that this kind of also solidifies and set things up for a possible potential Book of Boba Fett Season 2 as well, something that a lot of Star Wars fans really do want out there to bring the bounty hunter back around again, and with that also having CAD BANE, I think even more in a gruesome kind of style and way, and more of a badass way, is really what a lot of Star Wars fans out there really want to see, is the two of them to have another go at it in a second season, of course. Not just that, but also have a better story going on for the characters as well, is something that a lot of people want. And by a better story, I mean getting off of the desert planet of Tatooine. Anyway guys, what do you guys think about this? I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions and theories in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and of course this has been Unofficial Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.